X Turk channel.
What's up, guys? Back-to-back video. This is your King and I, it's about Tommy X Turk, and we're going to be discussing, check out the thumbnail for this one. We're going to be discussing Ravus' training under Ardyn. Now, this will be when Ravus has already partnered up with RNA Highway and Verse Steel. So this would probably be right after, again, I'm not very sure, but probably after Chapter 5. Or between Chapter 5, because I think Chapter 6 is when they get the Regalian, Ravus meets Noctis, and Ardyn puts it into the battle, because, you know, Ardyn has a little bit more jurisdiction to Ravus, because Ardyn's still the Chancellor of Niflheim. So, yeah, even though Ravus is a High Commander, you know, High Chancellor has more political power than the High Commander does. So, yeah, that's where the battle stops. So, what was their training like? I'd have to say it'd pretty much be the same thing if Regis was alive and training Noctis. Or pretty much how Gladiolus trained Noctis. It'd be hard and inducing. Probably even a little bit harder because Ardyn does want Ravus to win. Even though secretly he really does not like Ravus. In fact, no, actually it'd be a little bit harder because Ardyn never liked Ravus. As you could see in the end when Ardyn cuts off Ravus' metal arm saying, "I'm sick and tired of your sycophancy," you know, or stuff like that. You try to take the crystal in my stay. Because, yeah, that's true. Ravus did try to take the crystal at his stay. Because Ravus wants the ring, too. As you remember in King's Glaive, Ravus put the ring on and burned his arm off. Because Ravus wants the ring, too. And Ardyn's not having that. I mean, he only trained... I think the only reason why he trained Ravus is for his convenience. You know, for his convenience. Just in case he has to sick Ravus on Noctis. Because at this point, we're talking about a revenge-driven villain Ravus. Now, there's a difference between hero Ravus and villain Ravus. Villain Ravus is mostly throughout the game until the end, until Chapter 13. You know, which we never got to see in the first game, so they had to put the update there when Ravus challenges Idolus' rule, but that's another time in it. But I think, again, like I said in my previous theory, Ravus was also a spy by Idolus Autocrat, because Idolus Autocrat did not trust Ardyn. Did not. Sure, he likes Ardyn's ideas, but he did not trust Ardyn. Because the way, okay, Idolus and Ardyn have two different mindsets when it comes to taking the crystal and the ring. Or what Idolus calls the final piece. You know, Idolus wants to kill Noctis, kill Ludafreya, anybody who's in his way of getting it. Ardyn wants to keep Noctis alive until the 10 years is complete, so Ardyn can take the ring for himself after he kills Noctis. You know, in the end. In fact, Ardyn wants to kill Noctis by himself. And I'm pretty sure Ardyn and Idolus had a huge bickering match. Hence why you don't really see Idolus interact. Ardyn and Idolus interact with each other later in the game because they probably had a big fight, and because of that, Idolus sent Ravus to spy on Ardyn to make sure he's not doing too much to make the Niflheim Empire look bad, because the things that Ardyn could possibly do to mess with the Niflheim Empire is at a great advantage. I mean, be honest, could you trust Ardyn? First of all, the dude's too nice. The dude buys your food, pays your hotel room. I mean, come on. And he's wearing a fedora. Red flags! No, but seriously. No, but in all seriousness. He's not a trustworthy guy. You know, Ardyn's one of those backhanded people. He'll treat you nice, then fuck you over the next day. You know, he's the type of dude that'll be nice to a woman, and then, you know, be nice to a woman only to get something out of her. Like, that's the kind of dude that Ardyn is. Even the voice actor of Ardyn said that Ardyn was a snake. And if your own voice actor says something about your character, you know it's true. Even the voice actor said that Ardyn is a snake, and he is. He is. Idolus couldn't trust him, and I don't blame Idolus. I mean, he's gonna take the crystal too, and I think he knew that all the time. As you see in King's Glaive, where Idolus frowns when he's right next to Ardyn, because he knows. He knows that, yeah, right now I'm going to use Ardyn to do this because Ardyn told me good ideas to gain unlimited power and to become immortal. So I'm going to keep this guy around, but I'm going to watch him. I'm going to watch Ardyn. He ain't coming in, because I think when Ardyn left, that's when Idolus assigned Ravus to watch Ardyn. So in order for that to happen, not only Ardyn had to be Ravus's partner, and, you know, Ravus has to be Ardyn's partner in crime, but he also is trained by Ardyn, and it explains why he gradually gets stronger and stronger. Of course, Ardyn's already strong enough, so it's like, okay, I'll train Ravus. You know, he may, you know, I can get him strong as I want because it's like he's no threat to me. I got immortality. I got the Star Skirt. So when the time comes, I'm taking you down, and I'm taking Idolus down, and becoming my own king. But no. But nonetheless, you know, and Ravus is training under, is not only trained, but is under Ardyn's wing as a spy as well. That's why, but Ardyn knows more about Ravus than Ravus knows about Ardyn, if it makes any sense, because when it was, I forgot what chapter it was, but when you go to Alticia for the wedding, and to get the Hadrian or something like that, it's either to get the Hadrian or wedding, one of the two, but you see Ravus walking into the church-looking thing, looked like the Taj Mahal, and then you got Ardyn saying, "You come here to slay the Hadrian, so nothing happened to your sister," and Ravus is like, "Do something to my sister." Dude, Ravus had that face like, "Do something to my sister, and I swear, you're gonna regret it. You know, I'll cut your balls off." But no, in all seriousness, though. But yeah, Ravus knows Ardyn. I mean, Ravus kind of knows Ardyn's intentions just a little bit, because he frowned. He knew. He's like, I gotta watch this guy. No wonder why Idolus out of crap does not trust this dude. Because, you know, he's just untrustworthy. Ardyn's an untrustworthy guy. But we're not talking about Ardyn here. We're talking about Ravus's time under Ardyn. And I have to say it's at least 3 or 4 chapters. Now, 3 or 4 chapters will probably... I'm going to predict that this game happens in 1 year. Or in one full year until Noctis gets trapped in the crystal. Then 10 years go by. Which, that's another thing. But we're going to be going... This is going to be pre-Chapter 13 we're talking about. Because pre-Chapter 13 is when Ravus was under Ardyn's jurisdiction due to Idolus' orders. In Chapter 13, remember, Chapter 13, Ravus betrays the Nephilim Empire. And Ardyn goes after Ravus to make sure Ravus don't come back to challenge his power. Because, you know, he trained Ravus, so he had to make sure one of the threats were taken care of, and that's why he cuts his arm off, pretending to be Noctis, because, well, also, Ardyn's a dick, too, so, you know, when, you know, Ravus was trying to make amends for his past mistakes, but besides that, besides all of this, besides of all that you see right here, all that you gain right here, you know, Ravus is trying to make up for his mistakes, but the point, that's just Chapter 13. I'd have to say, if I'm gonna predict this game happen within a year's time, so pretty much Ravus and Ardyn are actually together until Ardyn appears with you when you're Noctis. You know, when he appears with you, he probably, you know, because he has the power of teleportation as well. Remember, Ardyn has multiple powers. He has the power of Lucius Caelium's, because he was a previous king at one point. He just is not the Ascended King. He has the power of the Orban Brights. And he's also the demon king of the Star Scourge as well. So he has multiple powers. So when he's not with Ravus, he teleports and helps Noctis out for his own benefit. But I think it had to be, if this happens in a whole year, let's just say this happens in a whole year. Ravus and Ardyn are pretty much partners for at least 3 months. I think the best to say is 3 months. So 3 months, Ravus has been getting some training in with Ardyn and doing missions with Ardyn, for the Niflheim Empire. As well, since Ardyn's a governor position as well, because Ardyn's also, Chancellor has more of a government position. He's probably the one who does most of the speeches, so he probably takes Ravus with him, because Ravus is, the High Commander. He's the new General Glocka, as we can see. And yes, the only reason why Ardyn has trained Ravus, is because he knows he's stronger than Ravus. And he's immortal, so he has nothing to worry about if Ravus gets too strong. But in Chapter 13, he does get rid of him because he just, got annoyed with him because they just didn't like each other. Never got along. Ravus hated Ardyn's guts. And Ardyn knows that he's a spy from Idolus. And, again, this is why you don't see, in Final Fantasy 15, you don't see Ardyn and Idolus commune together. Because they both fell out with each other. Because Idolus wants to kill Noctis. Ardyn wants to save Noctis until the ring is complete. So they're like, no, it ain't gonna work. So Ardyn knows that one day, Ravus is gonna end up betraying Ardyn. So, even though he trained Ravus, even though Ardyn trained Ravus, even though Ardyn has trained Ravus, he sees that Ravus is not really any threat to him because he's immortal. He's like, okay, whatever. Yeah, well, right now I'm going to act like we're partners and we're good friends and we're good old colleagues to each other. But after this is over and terminated, the minute you betray me, and it will happen, I'm fucking you over. And he does. In Chapter 13, Ardyn turns himself into Noctis. Just to really get Ravus emotionally distraught because, Ardyn's a dick. Because Ravus was trying to apologize and make up for what he done under the Niflheim Empire's name. But yeah, I'd have to say 3 months is how much time Ravus and Ardyn has spent together. Whether it's training, going on missions, going on government stuff, because remember, the Chancellor does all the government things, so, So he's probably went with Ravus to do, speeches. To say the Niflheim Empire is going to promise you this and that, etc., etc. Even though the Niflheim Empire are the bad guys. Pretty much, I have to say it's probably a span of 3 months if this game happens within a year. And again, I'm not really good with the whole numbers thing, so please forgive me when I say that, but, it had to be that way, but he knows that he's stronger than Ravus, so even if he trained Ravus really well, it didn't matter. He could overpower Ravus. So, that's the whole discussion of during the 3 months of Ardyn training Ravus for those 3 months. So may the crystal be with you, and like and subscribe, share, tell me what you think about this fan theory. May the crystal be with you.